Yes, sir.
I have a question about the age thing. I was talking with my son on the phone, and I says, "Hey, look, son, I'm having problems with work." And he goes, "Oh, Dad, you know, I'm so disappointed in you." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, get your crap together, Dad." And I was like, yeah. He goes, "Dad, you know what's going to happen, right?" He goes, "Like what?" He goes, "Dad, you only got 20 more years. Okay? You're going to be dead in 20 years, okay? You got to get going." I goes, "Seriously? I know I'm a senior." And he goes, "Yeah, Dad, you're going to be dead in 20 years. You got the next 20 years. He goes, "You know, do the job. You probably shouldn't be a restaurant server." I goes, "You know, you're pretty good with your mouth." I goes, "But the mouth can get you in trouble too." So it's like, do something else, Dad, because you've been, since your 20s to right now, senior time. He goes, "You've been in the restaurant business. That is not your gift, Dad. You're in the wrong career. Get out of it as soon as possible."
Your point is what?
My point is that he said I was going to be dead in 20 years. I was like blown away. I mean, I've said it before, but I couldn't believe that. I never said it to him, but he said it to me. And I've always thought that. Like, I'm going to be dead in 20 years. So I'm gone in 20 years. I got the next 20 years to make the most of it. And he's like, first time I heard him say it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, my 20-year-old son is saying I'm going to be dead in 20 years. So
what is it like knowing that in your mind you're going to be dead in 24 years, however you say?
I got to get busy.
And so why
I got to get busy and leave a legacy. You know,
to
don't be like, you know, like my dad left no legacy. My brother, who died at 49, left zero legacy.
What's a legacy?
A legacy is something behind. Like, nobody remembers my dad. Nobody remembers.
So stay with me.
Yeah.
So you got to leave a legacy.
A legacy, Legacy.
For who?
For my future kids or my son.
Why?
Because otherwise, you know, that I'll just fade into oblivion.
Why? And so?
I don't want to be one of 8 billion.
Why not?
I'd rather not.
Why?
Because.
Why it's so important that you be remembered?
Because my dad.
No, why is it important that you be remembered?
Because my dad was not. Nobody remembers my dad. Nobody remembers my brother who just died at 49.
You remember your father?
Yeah, I do.
Why? So you're nobody?
Yeah, but I'm somebody, but he's... goodness. Okay.
Why is it so important to you that you think you need to be remembered?
Because I'm shocked that my dad died at 68 and nobody remembers him.
But
and
why
then my brother died at 49 and nobody remembers him.
You're repeating yourself. Why is it important that you should be remembered? Who cares? Why do you want somebody to remember you?
For my family.
Why?
Because otherwise I'm just a blip in the family tree.
What good would it do them to remember you?
Because I actually want to build, like this guy says, I want to build a financial nest egg for my family. Because, I mean, my dad was a loser. My brother's a loser.
What good would it do you to be remembered?
What good would it do me to be remembered? Because I want to break the cycle of dysfunctionality in our family.
And why?
Because my brother Mike, who's still living, who's 2 years younger, he says, you know, this is the most dysfunctional family ever.
All families are like that. But I got to move on, but I want to ask you, you know, what is it like having a son and you always going to your son with your problems? What's that like for you? Think about that for a minute. Take a breath.
He's 20 years old. He just talked to me about it.
Take a breath.
Okay.
What is it like going to your son with your problems? What good is that doing him?
What good? Because he knows that what good is it doing him? Because he compares what I'm doing. He goes, I don't want to be like Dad when I'm a senior.
And you want him to live in fear like that?
Not in fear, but he's
so
like...
why do you talk to him about your problems?
I was transparent about my job difficulties.
No, I know you were. But my point is, why, and I gotta move on, but why do you talk to your son about your problems? You're the father, he's the son. Why do you talk to him about your problem?
Because I'm beta?
Are you saying because you're beta?
Yeah, because I'm a beta male, I guess.
And why would you want your son to know you're a beta male?
He thinks I can do better, but he's disappointed.
No.
Like
Why
dad
do
always
you-
disappoints.
No, stay right. Why would
DAD.
you want to give that image to your son?
I've already given that image.
Why continue it?
I can continue it by improving.
And how does that improve his life?
Because he knows I can't do crap like dad does.
No.
Otherwise,
what
I'll
good is
end
it
up in the
doing
gutter.
your son to know that you're weak and that you can do better, but you're not doing better? All you're doing is complaining. What good is that doing your son?
My 20-year-old. Okay. What good is? What, I should stop complaining and do more doing.
What good is that doing your son for the father to be always complaining about his life?
Because then he realizes the importance of a good job.
That doesn't even make
Find your
sense.
gift.
What good is it doing your son to hear his father complaining about life?
Well, because it makes him want to do better.
He needs his father to be weak so he can do better?
No. He's disappointed in me.
And you like that, huh?
No, I don't.
Then why you keep dumping on him your problems?
Because he sees it with his own eyes.
But why do you keep dumping on him with your problem?
Because he asks me questions and I answer honestly.
Amazing. And so you're happy to be dumping failure on your son?
Dumb and failure or
Are you
dumping?
dumping.
D-U-M-P-I-N-G?
Yeah,
Dumping?
what hope does that gives him? If he's the son, you're the father. What hope does that give him knowing that the father's weak and always complaining and never getting better and always that? What hope is that giving him to get better?
Well, he knows basically I'm a senior failure and he
We
can't
already know that, but what is that doing for him to get better, knowing that his father is weak and always complaining?
because I think it motivates him. I mean, I'm not trying to, but I guess it's negative motivation. He's like, holy crap, my dad's a failure. I can't be like that.
But he has no other choice. Let me ask you this, and then we
Wait a second, what do you mean he has no choice?
Let's say you look to Christ, right? You believe in Jesus, right?
Yeah, of course.
And would you believe in Jesus if he was all beta and every time you saw him, oh, I talked to this woman at work and I told her my business, and Christ, I'm getting fired. Now my hours are cut. Oh, my mother died and my dad had a bad reputation. My brother died and now me. Would you still respect Christ?
No, because he's a loser.
And so how do you expect your son to respect you?
Well, he knows I'm a loser.
And you okay with that?
No, I'm not.
Then why don't you cut it out?
Because I gotta do more acting and less complaining, I guess.
Why don't you cut it out? Stop complaining.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I'm transparent when he asks me questions.
No, it's not. You know, he only asked him because you've always presented weakness. He has no other image of you. You're worse than his mother.
Oh, his mom's a loser too.
No, you're a loser. You're worse than the mother.
Yeah, I
He
should be an
has
example.
no image of you from birth until now of complaining. Never do you come along and all is well. He doesn't know about you overcoming anything, moving to, as this young man was saying, moving up the ladder of life. He doesn't know you that way.
Well, he knew me in my last job until I screwed up.
No, he just knows you as a complainer.
What's that?
And he just knows you as a complainer, and you're happy about that.
Because I haven't found my gift in life, even at my
Lord.
age as a senior.
But that's not his business.
Well, he wants the best for me.
All right. Anyway, I got to move on.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. You're typical. It's not The whole world's like that. I'm just having this conversation, hoping somebody else will see something and wake up.
Okay.
You're not unusual.
Thank you.
What a mess.
I know.